I just have ranting to do. I'm accepting the presence of anger. I'm accepting that ego exists in me, even as it's an illusion. Yes, the experience of it, however, is real. It's a real experience, the same way that playing a video game is a real experience, seeing a magic show is a real experience. The things happening there may not be as they appear. The video game isn't real, but the experience of it is. All of it is an illusion, but the experience of the illusion is still a real experience. And it doesn't mean anything more or less. It just is. So it's not threatening in any way. It's not wrong. It's not right. And I want to be very real about the experience that I'm having right now, which parts of my mind have pushed away, would continue to push away. And I'm very aware that anger is something that I have shamed. I've shamed it in myself, and because I've shamed it in myself, I've shamed it in other people, and that doesn't feel good. And that's not a thing that I want to do anymore. I want to accept the experience of anger in a way that is not seeing it as a problem, not seeing it as caused by someone, or that it's anyone else's responsibility. It's not a thing to fix. It's not even a thing to apologize for. It simply is. It is an experience. And so the experience of this anger is pure. It's not pointing fingers. It's here. And yes, this is hard to express. I want to be honest about it, and then, let's start there. Let's start there, because there's so much internal judgment of it, and I don't want to suppress it. There's this whole you're better than this voice. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. There is no better than or less than. The experience of anger does not diminish or enhance anyone. It's just an experience, and that whole spiritual ego shit that is you must be calm all the time and everything must be just kosher and cool. That's not my experience. And I just want to be authentic about what my experience is. That's it. That's all. So my ex texted me. The ex that I don't want to speak to. I don't. And there's a part of me that is like, yes, but I do. But that is the part that is like not wanting to shun somebody, not wanting someone to feel bad. That's the part that's like, be the bigger person and, accept them. And I don't think that's respecting myself, actually. I don't want to speak to this person because we have a very toxic pattern. We've had a very toxic way of relating, and I'm not interested in finding a way of relating that is anything. For me, healthy relating to this person is not. them to live their life and go about their business, and me to live mine. And I don't want any connection to them, and they're not a bad person. There are no bad people, and I recognize that this person has experienced tremendous hardship, a lot of trauma from very early on in their life, and that they feel a lot of things, and all of those things are valid to feel, and that their journey is their own. I am not interested. The part of me that's interested is the part of me that was interested in that relationship to begin with, which was a diminished feeling element of self that thought I could fix somebody, which first of all requires the perception that anybody can be broken, which is wrong. And what a twisted, egotistical thing that is to think that I could fix someone. That's just fucked, man. This person is not broken. People aren't broken. People aren't things that you fix. We're messy, we're complicated. And we're inherently worthy and well. This person is just not a person that I want to associate with. That's it. I find this person frustrating to associate with because one moment they're kind and apologetic, and the next, they're vitriolic and scathingly insulting. And I am aware that ego wants to look at receipts and wants to say, they've done this and I've done that, and this is how it compares. That's here. That's very much here. Because I recognize, because there is a fucking difference between us. And it doesn't make me better. But I've never tried to hurt them. I have hurt them. Not with the malicious intention. This is fucking stupid. This is fucking stupid. I want to give permission to ego to speak. Because I don't want to deny this experience. So here's what it really wants to say. Not the policing, not the diplomatic, censored version. It just wants to say, fuck you. Fuck you. I never insulted you. Never insulted your being. I never questioned your sense of yourself. I never fucking told you that you were a bad person. I never told you that you were crazy. I never told you anything about yourself. I told you what I felt and what I experienced. But I didn't fucking tread on your domain, which is knowing yourself. I never told you that your being was wrong in some way. I never told you you were worshiping the devil. I never told you you were an awful person. Awful and cruel and manipulative and sociopathic. I never told you you were a bitch. I never called you a name. Wholly diminishing the complexity of your experience to a few words and a definition, to a stereotype, to a flattened picture, an image, an idea. I didn't do that, and you did, and it's not something that makes me better than you. It's just something that I'm proud. No, not even that. I'm not proud. It's just fucking obvious. It's like, why would you do that? I'm not proud because it wasn't a temptation. Because it wouldn't have made me feel better. It wouldn't have meant anything. I'm not proud because I know those things aren't true. And to say them wouldn't have been true. And I've known that from the beginning. To tell you how you felt, to tell you what your experience was, to tell you what you were. And so all I really have to say to that is, fuck you. Fuck you telling me who I am. Fuck you telling me what I feel, what my internal experience is, my motivations. You don't fucking know me. And I have never known you. And that is why this didn't work. And doesn't work. Because to know somebody, they have to know themselves. And you tried to make me forget myself. And I know it wasn't even conscious. I know it wasn't even something you were doing consciously. Because you were so far removed from yourself. I know that wasn't you, and I know it's still not you. The person that is speaking, that wants to talk to me, is not even you. That's the thing. I know it was this other thing. But it's just like, why? There's nothing there. There's nothing to talk about. There's just fucking nothing. Yes, I still have anger. I do. Yes, I still have tremendous anger. Anger that I kept in. 10 fucking years of anger that I suppressed in myself, and that's on me. That's on me. And I am sorry for shaming anger in you, I am sorry for that. I'm sorry for that being a thing that I was afraid of, for anger being something that I was afraid of. But anger is not a tool that you use to coerce and control other people. When anger arises as an expression, then it's energy. And it's right to let it flow, but not to flow it at somebody. That's not how you flow it. And I realize that I am speaking to someone right now who will never see this. And that seems like anger directed at a person. But I'm not looking for an apology. I'm not asking for something to be fixed. There's nothing broken here. This is a pure expression and an awareness too that a lot of this anger is with actions that I took. And so the anger is it's a natural response to a situation. It's not intended as an indictment of a person, of their being, of their goodness. There is anger with the actions of this individual. There is anger with my own actions. None of that touches the worthiness of ourselves. None of that means anyone is good or bad or better or worse or right or wrong. This is simply an honest expression of anger that I have repressed, that I have shamed in myself for a long time, and I don't want to shame it anymore. And so this is an act of love for myself and no longer shaming something that is a part of my experience. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Not really. But the anger it's been there so long. There were so many moments when it arose. And then it was tamped back down. And really, it's just this uprising in myself of a passionate affirming to myself of that which I never affirmed to myself over the course of this relationship, which is I know me. I know me. I am the only one who knows my being the way that I do because I am it. And I have allowed other people to claim that authority over me. I have allowed the mind to claim that authority over me. And that's where this anger comes in. It's a righteous reclaiming. It's an uprising of energy that is necessary to say no fucking more. No more. Yes, I recognize I stepped down from my own seat of power within myself. And now that I have reclaimed it, it's up to me to hold that seat, to own it, to be that, to be my authority, and to say, nobody tells me who I am. Nobody tells me how I feel. My intentions are for the highest good of all. And I accept whatever that means. I don't pretend to know what that means. I accept that that is beyond the comprehension of the human mind. And I trust that when I take an action, I trust because I step into alignment with myself, I be myself, and then I trust. And in that trust, I am aligned. The trusting is the alignment with my being. The trusting of my being myself is the alignment with myself. So I can't get it wrong. Nobody can. In being myself and taking that action, I am trusting that this is right for all. And I am knowing that I cannot be harmed, and I cannot harm another, and I am not seeking to harm. I am standing only in the sovereignty of myself and my being, and doing what is right for me, and it is right because I know it is right, because I am my being. It's not the kind of right that is moral or ethical. It's the kind of right that is in alignment with the natural order. And when I am taking this action, I am in the flow of the alignment. I am in the flow. I can't be out of alignment. I am being myself, and I am trusting the actions of myself. And I will not be talked out of that. And I was too small and too uncertain back then to be sure of myself at all, and so I was easily talked out of it. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity. I thank you for the challenge. The challenge to be myself, to be a self that you hardly recognize. Because I became so small. So small. Walking on eggshells. Never wanting to upset. And I see now that that was a disservice. That was a disservice. That was not in service to self. It is in service to self, mine and all, to be big, to be everything that I am, to be boisterous, to be loud, to be unapologetic, to be triggering. And so I thank you for the trigger. Because I am expanding. I am bigger, and not in a way that makes you smaller. And when you become small before me, it does nothing for me. It does not enhance me, nor does it diminish me. That is your choice, the same way it was mine. The same way it was mine. It was my choice to be small. And now I am making a different one. Because I have discovered that smallness does not suit me. It does not suit one of us. Not anyone. So thank you for pissing me off and pushing me to stand in myself, to be myself. To discover my bigness and my power, my authority over myself and not one other. And so no, I do not accept your stepping over my boundaries. No. And with love, I say, I am not continuing this. I will not be responding. Not even to your questions. Not even to the questions that the smaller part of me feels like I owe an answer for. No. You don't owe me anything, and I don't owe you anything. And everything that we need, we have. Nothing is missing. Nothing is missing from me. Nothing is missing from you. There is nothing I have to give you. And there is nothing that I need or am owed or want from you. This is done. Go and find peace. Find the peace that you are. Go and be the peace that you are. Experience joy. Experience every wonderful thing. That is my intention. I fully expect it from you. I fully expect it from all of us. But it's not the kind of expectation that needs to be met either. Do as you will. It's your journey. We were a part of each other's journeys. A significant part. A catalyst. There had to be tension there. There had to be contrast, immense contrast, for the asking to be as immense as it became. Big enough to create the burst of energy that changed everything. I was asleep. And so were you. And in our fumbling, sleepy beating at one another, something was awoken. That something was myself. My consciousness, my awareness. And in being my own being, I came to know my worthiness. I came to appreciate myself as I am. I came to find a security that is not in who I am, but that I am. Thank you for being a part of that path. Thank you for disrespecting me so that I could learn that if I wanted respect, I had to give it to myself. And now I am. And in respecting myself, respectfully, I am no longer communicating with you. You are not a bad person, and neither am I. We are each just being. I need no apology from you. Neither will I apologize. Oil doesn't need to be sorry for being oil, nor does water need to be sorry for being water. And it is not hatred or judgment, but discernment that sees simply these two do not mix. And I'm seeing the part of myself that still feels bad. Like somehow I am hurting you. When I am simply being myself. But I realize too that that is not respectful of your power, of your sovereignty, of your well-being. To think that I could hurt you, to think that that were possible, is not holding the awareness of the infinite wellness that you are, as well as I am. And so, I will smile to not respond. Knowing that it does nothing to you. For you are complete. And you are missing nothing. And you need nothing from me. And I see the part of ego that wants to be needed. That's all of ego. And I remind it that it is not. It is not needed. Need is a chain. It's control and controlling. And what we are is free. You need nothing from me. You are welcome for the triggering. But you are not welcome back in. I'm aware that there's a sense of threat and feeling that, perceiving that I don't have a choice in this, that somehow I must defend these walls. And I'm aware that that is a false perception, as all perception of threat is. I don't have to keep you out. You're just not in. That's chosen not by my mind, but by my heart, by my being. In trusting that, my walls are solid. They need no reinforcement. They need no defense. We are not opponents. but I will not play small and placate, not even the part of me that is so accustomed to pleasing people, not even for the comfort of that part. I would rather do the uncomfortable thing that is honoring the truth of my being than to compromise my own integrity. So that's it. I don't know if I'll post this, but why the fuck not? None of this means anything. None of this whole channel, this whole everything. It's just an expression, artistic. Has no point, no goal, no results trying to be achieved. Doesn't matter if people see it or not, or like it or not. It just is. And I do this because it feels good to. Maybe not all the time. Certainly I've made recordings that were less than authentic. That's absolutely happened. I've not always been real. But all of it stays up because I refuse to shame or censor any part of myself or my experience. I am me, like it or not. I am messy. And I'm right to be exactly as I am. And I cannot know that for anybody else. I can only know that for myself. And there is a hope. There is a desire that in being me as clearly and continuously as I might, as I can, that it triggers the same in others, that it sets a spark, or if they're already on that path, that wavelength, that it is a ripple that can be felt by them in a way that is uplifting, but only because it matches their own frequency, their own ripple already moving that direction. Not because it's anything special that's been added, but rather more of themselves. And it does feel good to see yourself reflected back to you clearly. To see another who is standing in their sovereignty can reinforce the feeling, the power of standing in your own. But it's not needed. It's just natural. And again, it's not special, it's natural. It's just the way that it works. And yes, all of that is a desire. But more than anything, My desire is to be in relationship with myself, right relationship with myself, which means to be myself. To be my being, the being that is, that I am. And that being trusts completely, that being doesn't question itself. That being knows that it can't be out of alignment. That being knows it can't go against nature. It can't fuck anything up. That being knows that everything that it does and feels and expresses is right. And it trusts. It trusts that it is not of harm to anything, to anyone. It trusts that it is buoyed and supported by the highest of energetic forces. It trusts that it is taken care of. It trusts that it is loved. It trusts, and it knows by the experience of itself that it is worthy. And that doesn't mean it never hears the voice of doubt in the mind, but it trusts anyway. It chooses trust. It sinks deeper into the being of itself. That is my desire. That is my intention. And I trust that it is fulfilled by my knowing it right now. All is as all should be. As it ever was, and is, and shall be. That's it. Honor your anger. I love you.